Proclamation.
Tony has it. Yeah, he's head of the prison board, so very easy.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just thought he spoke to me.
Yeah.
You remember
Nope,
the
we have it.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got it covered. All right, she's on it.
I'll put him in the doghouse if he forgets it.
Right.
Now he has it.
Who all do we have on the line?
This is Eve Adrian from Planning.
Mark Anderson from Tax Claim. Morning, Jason.
I think that's everybody that was calling in.
Okay.
The director wasn't, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Did you remember the proclamation?
That was a good,
What does it fool me?
good decoy. We live?
It's not showing that we are.
Okay, we'll give it a minute.
Okay. Usually that. We are.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We ask you to please rise for the prayer and pledge of allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we call upon you this morning as we gather to conduct the business of the county. We are thankful that we can call upon you during any moment of the day. You have created us with the desire to have a relationship where we acknowledge, depend, and seek your wisdom daily. This Thursday, we'll celebrate the National Day of Prayer. Proclaimed in 1952 by President Harry Truman and moved to the first Thursday in May by President Reagan, the National Day of Prayer is observed by millions across our great land. Our great fathers recognized the importance of prayer in our Creator. May we also recognize the importance of prayer, not only on this day, but we incorporate it in our lives daily. This week we celebrate our mothers. We thank you for creating our mothers with a combination of gifts and talents. The love and sacrifice that a mom gives for her child is like no other. Her time, perseverance, and flexibility to do 10 things at once is a testament of their love. We ask you to be with the single moms who need your arms of a father's love wrapped around them to guide them. Those moms who never had the honor of bearing children but whose love and nurturing is priceless to that child they raise. We ask for strength and grace. May we honor our mothers and cherish the women who have given us birth. You command us to honor thy mother and father. May we do that each day with respect and love. For those mothers who have passed into eternity, we thank them for their lives, foundations, and love that their children received. Lord, we know that everything is in your sovereign control. Now we ask you guide us through this meeting with wisdom and clarification on what your will is for our community. These things we humbly ask in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. At this time we'll convene the Commissioners' public meeting and ask for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Public comment on agenda items only at this time. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on.
Today we have a proclamation
for Institutional Parole and Corrections Employee Week. Commissioner Messere is going to read that.
Good morning. Here's a proclamation, Institutional Parole and Corrections Employee Week, May 2nd through the 8th of 2021. Whereas Pennsylvania's correctional system is the oldest in the nation, evolving from the establishment of the Philadelphia Walnut Street Jail in 1773 and the Eastern Penitentiary in 1829. And whereas the Pennsylvania system, as it became known, was the leading influence in the development of penology throughout the 19th century and the forerunner of modern corrections. And whereas today Pennsylvania faces continual difficult challenges in corrections, which 23 state correctional institutions, 1 motivational boot camp, 1 training academy, 2 central office buildings, 14 community corrections centers, 40 contract facilities, 63 county prisons and jails, and 10 federal facilities and offices. Our correctional facilities house approximately 61,000 inmates. And whereas the secure and safe operation and management of these facilities rest in the hands of nearly 31,500 trained, skilled, and dedicated correctional professionals. They are corrections administrators, corrections officers, counselors, treatment specialists, educators, clerical support staff, business administrators and purchasing agents, personnel and labor relations specialists, reentry specialists, social workers, clerical, medical professionals, food service specialists, computer technicians, parole agents, parole supervisors, and administrative positions, planners and research analysis, and skilled craftspeople upon whose skills, efficiencies, and professionalism the functions of the Pennsylvania correctional system depends. And whereas although each of these dedicated professionals work in a different field and specializes in a specific area, all are committed to the common goal, the secure, safe, and humane operation of our Commonwealth correctional facilities, where employees work to reduce future crime through the delivery of programs to challenge an individual's criminal behavior. And whereas beginning in 2020, the Commonwealth was faced with its first public health pandemic emergency in over 100 years with the discovery of COVID-19. Individuals who work in the parole and correctional fields exhibit exceptional levels of dedication to protecting the health and welfare of all the inmates, prisoners, parolees, re-entrants across this Commonwealth. Now, therefore, the Commissioners of Lycoming County hereby proclaim the week of May 2nd through the 8th as 2021 as Institutional Parole and Corrections Employee Week, in witness of whereof we have set our hand and seal of this 4th day of May 2021. Commissioner Chairman Scott Metzger, Vice Chairman Tony Messere, and Secretary Richard Marabito.
Okay, I believe we have in attendance our warden and the deputy warden. Would they like to come up and say a few words?
Thank you, Commissioners. On behalf of the 113 men and women who work at the Lycoming County Prison and the Pre-Release Center, I'd like to thank the Commissioners for the proclamation and recognition. It's a well-deserved honor, and it's a tribute to the staff that have dedicated themselves to the mission of the prison system and to ensure the safety of the citizens of Lycoming County. These professionals handle adversity on a daily basis that has only been magnified by the COVID-19 health crisis. They efficiently and effectively perform the essential day-to-day functions of the prison system with honor and dignity, and I'm proud to work with these great men and women. In addition, I'd like to thank the Lycoming County Prison Board, the Lycoming County Board of Commissioners, and the Lycoming County Courts for their continued support of the prison system. In recognition of this honor to all the men and women at the Lycoming County Prison and Pre-Release Center, we're going to be hosting a special meal for them. That meal will be held next week due to the late recognition for this that came across, but we couldn't get it scheduled for this week, but we will hold a special meal for them next week, and I'd like to thank you for your support.
Thank you.
You know, I'd like to add, is the prison system perfect? No. But I can say this, you know, I've been commissioner for 10 years, and whenever there is an issue, and whether it's from an inmate or whether it's from a CO, our warden and his staff, they do exactly what's necessary. And it's always to protect who? The COs and the inmates. And I can't stress that enough. Stuff happens every day in that environment. And whether it's from medications, you know, mental illness, whatever, it is a difficult position that, you know, one works in over there. And after reading and looking at some of the videos, it has to be a well-trained staff as well. So I applaud you for being the person who you are, because you are a compassionate warden in all ways, and it's well appreciated and something not recognized by the public in general.
Thank you. I appreciate those statements. And you read in that proclamation how many people are involved in the day-to-day operations, and it's not just the corrections officers. It's from, you know, the administration and the support staff and the counseling staff and the medical staff. So there's a lot that goes into the day-to-day operations, and all of those individuals do a tremendous job in providing the services that we provide during the day.
Thanks.
You know, I want to thank you and the 113 men and women, as you said. Something you said is very important, Warden. You mentioned all the people that work there. It's a microcosm of society. It's a microcosm of society. Everyone from clergy to labor relations to all the kinds of duties. I hope, and I know because I know you as a person, that we'll continue to try to challenge our thinking about penology. You know, it was the Quakers who began the idea of solitary confinement. And they did it because they thought they were helping inmates reflect on what they had done and people who had committed crimes. And of course now, you know, 200 years later, we know that it's damaging and destructive, and it's sad that it's taken us that long to come to the realization. But I think also that as society, we have to understand that the prisons have become the de facto mental health centers in this whole country. And it's really shame on us as citizens for not speaking out and saying that we're not going to allow that to happen. We shouldn't put on the shoulders of 113 men and women in this county who are not necessarily trained in mental health the responsibility for dealing with all the mental health issues. And on the state level, it's the same thing. We shouldn't put on the burden. There are people who commit crimes who don't have mental illness. There's no question about it. But the reality is that we've dismantled our mental health structure and we've put that burden on our corrections. And I hope that you will continue to challenge that. As a commissioner, I will fight with you to try to challenge that. We will push our state legislators and representatives to make sure we have the funding to do that. And as citizens, we should recognize the burden that we can help try to change. So anyway, congratulations and thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Gordon, as someone who worked in the criminal justice system for 30 years, I worked with many of these individuals and handled the same population. And it is a very difficult job, extremely difficult, because they go to a shift and they're living with individuals who really don't have any direction. Some choose not to have direction, and they're trained professionals because their goal is to make sure those individuals don't spend the rest of their lives housed in these facilities. They want to see them turn their lives around and be productive. So as they work in their jobs to assist these individuals making the changes, it's important that they are recognized. It's a very tough job, and it's been extremely difficult and stressful through COVID. So we can't thank them enough. It's most jobs that people don't want to do. And We acknowledge that. We know it's difficult to replace them, and we thank them for their service.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have a proclamation. We'd like to get a picture with you and Deputy Warden Barnes.
Okay, give him our.
I will.
You guys can take your mask off if you choose to during the picture. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
For anyone on the call that may be a little bit too close to the mic, we can hear you breathing.
I'm glad you said it.
You're a heavy breather. Like a Seinfeld episode.
Oh my goodness, we're moving on to bid openings with Krista Rogers.
The first bid is for 2 new 2021 75 cubic yard transfer trailers. We had one bidder, Spectre Manufacturing Incorporated. Total bid price $117,390.
Okay.
Good.
Yep, thank you.
And then we also have leachate and gas system cleaning, inspection, and pipe improvements. We had 2 bidders. Mobile Dredging and Video Pipe Incorporated, price of $919,421. And Noble Environmental, $643,339.
Okay.
And that's at RMS, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome.
Yep, have a good day.
You too?
Thanks.
3.0 Accounts Payable Cash Requirements Report with Brandy Clemens.
Yep. Morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to present the Accounts Payable Cash Requirements Report for invoices due through May 12th, 2021 for payment on May 5th, 2021 in the amount of $637,734.46, 42% of which are county general taxpayer funds.
Okay.
You said 42% are out of the general fund?
Yes.
I have 73.
Yeah, I got 77 too.
Well, anyway,
Maybe you have the wrong
maybe we have the wrong
cover
copy.
page, sorry about that.
But, and if that's the case, maybe that's why I can't find this other one. I was looking for judicial under Medtronics. Monotronics. It was for $20,000, but I could not find the invoice. So I didn't know what that was.
It's under, do you know what department that is? What page is that on?
Page 2.
Page 2.
Okay, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's $20,681.78.
There was
That's a
no
PRC,
invoicing.
but that is the PRC replace fire alarm. It's filed in the Bs, I believe it's under Brinks for whatever reason.
Okay,
Yeah,
Might be because the alarm system, Brink's alarm system,
Yeah.
that might be it.
yeah,
okay, thank you.
Okay.
yep.
Other than that, I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Motion to accept.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
4.0 Roxanne Greco for personnel actions.
Morning, Roxanne.
Good morning, Commissioners. At the prison, we have Lauren M. Abriola as a full-time replacement administrative specialist, pay grade 5, $15.37 an hour, effective May 10th, 2021. At pre-release, Jennifer Black Jarrett, full-time replacement resident supervisor, pay grade 6, $17.434971 an hour, effective May 16th, 2021. Also at pre-release, Andrew W. Hunsinger, full-time replacement resident supervisor, pay grade 5, $15.37 an hour, effective May 10th, 2021. In the courts, MDJ Beakley, Amy Breen, as a full-time replacement clerk 3, pay grade 4, $14.09 an hour, effective May 10th, 2021. In the Prothonotary, and please add clerk of courts to this for Deanna Cowles is a part-time replacement clerk 3, pay grade 4, $13.09 an hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours annually, and this is effective May 11th, 2021. And in voter services, Christina M. McKee as a full-time replacement clerk 3, pay grade 4, $14.09 an hour, effective May 10th, 2021. And I'll take the last item separately.
Okay, any comments or questions on personnel actions 4.1 through 4.6? Hearing none, I have a motion.
I'll move to approve the personnel action.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
4.7, approve the personnel actions processed in the month of April 2021.
Okay, any comments or questions? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Roxanne.
Thank you.
5.0 action items. 5.1 and 5.2 are Maya Toon.
Morning, Maya.
Good morning, Commissioners. The
Please
first
identify
item,
which department you're with.
sure, Maya Toon, Chief Procurement Officer with the Purchasing Office.
Great, thank you.
The first item I have before you is to make an award to McTish, Kunkel and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $76,734.93. This was an RFP we put out for part 1 of the bridge bundling program. They were the lowest bidder.
Okay, and it's a budget item for the 2021 budget.
That's correct.
Okay, great. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
The next item is also an invitation to bid that we did. It was for the Shivers Ridge Tower right-of-way clearing. We're recommending awarding that to Smith Excavating and Construction, LLC. It's in the amount of $29,600. Again, this is a 2021 budgeted item.
Okay.
This is for the radio system, correct?
What's that?
For the radio system?
No, this is just a clearing of the brush.
Oh,
That's
just our
needed.
typical clearing out we
Yeah,
do.
it's-
Gotcha, okay.
They put it off a couple years,
Yeah.
and
Right.
now it's definitely overdue, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
5.3, Leslie Kilpatrick, voting on amendment to agreement with Schuylkill Mobile Phone.
Good morning, Commissioners. Asking your approval to renew our paging services for another 3 years through Schuylkill Mobile with no increase. It's still a $10 per pager per month fee.
Okay. Leslie, identify which department you're with.
Oh, I'm sorry. Leslie Kilpatrick, Information Services.
Thank you. Okay.
Leslie, what is the purpose of the pagers now? I mean, most everyone that I know have cell phones.
Sure. More the pagers help, and I'll pick on Chuck because he's always out and about in places where cell phones just don't work. This is still being able to get access to him. They can page him anywhere, and then he can find a phone somewhere to return the calls if needed. But not just him, it's everybody on the list, you know, they're out of service. There's a lot of spots in Lycoming County that you just can't get cell phone service.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioners.
So carried. Thank you, Leslie. Have a good day.
You too.
5.4, Kristen McLaughlin, voting on amendment number 1.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
This is an amendment to the Professional and Administrative Services Agreement with CEDACOG for federal fiscal year 2017. The reason for this amendment is we switched projects, the Muncie Library and the Franklin Township project. And when we switch those, then we need to switch the delivery amounts, which are also included in the in your agreement with CEDACOG for administration. So that's all it is. It's just switching one from the other.
And the price is staying the same, we just did a different year, right? So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yeah, we moved one from 2019 to 2017 and one from 2017 to 2019.
Any further comments or questions? Have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, Kristen. Thank you.
5.5, Sal Vitko, voting on amendment to agreement 2 with Bassett Engineering.
Morning, Sal.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sal Bitko, Transportation Planner, Lycoming County Planning and Community Development. This is just an amendment to the bridge bundling contract that'll allow Bassett Engineering to pay the utility invoices and then submit for reimbursement.
Okay, that's a budget item for 2021.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the utility work that we'll need to do prior to shovels in the ground and all that stuff.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I have a motion.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Thank you.
Sal.
5.6, Eve Adrian, voting on sub-recipient monitoring agreement.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Eve Adrian, Natural Resource Planner with Planning and Community Development. We are requesting approval for the subrecipient agreement with Northumberland County for the DEP Community Clean Water Action Plan Coordinator Grant, or just the CAP grant, for the amount of $50,000. As the grant lead, this agreement would allow Lycoming County to reimburse Northumberland County's expenses for work done toward this grant.
And we're gonna get 100,000 from DEP, right? And
Yes, correct.
splitting
So
it 2 ways.
$50,000 for Northumberland County, $50,000 for Lycoming County.
Right.
Okay, any comments or questions? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good day.
You too, Eve.
5.7 was Shannon Rossman, voting on work order number 3 with Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions.
Morning, Shannon.
Good morning, Commissioners. Shannon Rossman, Planning and Community Development Director. Before you is just some minor word changes that were required by the federal EDA for our work order number 3, which is the Memorial Avenue levee project and cross pipes. Once we get this approved today and get it to EDA through CEDACOG, then they'll be able to get and work on the project. Just some language issues. No change in the cost, and this has been budgeted. And this is also our federal grant.
Yep. When do they anticipate the work to begin?
Well, the design has to happen first, and that's
Okay.
what this is for. This is for the design, which we're estimating is going to be about an 18-month project. And then after that, we'll be going for construction bid.
Okay. Any further questions or comments?
It's a long time, it's a long process.
It is. It's very complicated.
Right.
It's not something, it's not as easy as our bridge bundling program where you've got similar bridges, you can pick one up, put one in, a little bit of uniqueness. This has got a lot of bells and whistles.
But you wonder how much of it is, bureaucracy versus being able to take all the stakeholders, put them in a room, and say, okay, this is what needs to be done, and here are the guidelines, and go. I mean, we've been dealing with the levy for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. You know, it's a shame that the state doesn't say, we're going to take responsibility for all the levies across the state. We're going to put some people on it from Harrisburg, and we're going to bundle the levy repairs the way we bundle the bridge program, and go out across the state instead of putting the burden on all the communities. And that's neither Republican or Democrat. It's about how we do business as a society, because the state has the people power, and they also could do a tremendous job of negotiating prices.
And when they build levies, and this is what, you're talking about the bridge bundling, Commissioner, which you're dead on. And you're talking about $497,000 for the engineering of just this part.
Right.
Okay? And many of these levies were built to the same specs.
Right.
And take those levies and engineer them the same way. Now, not all, I understand that, but imagine the savings that we could have, or communities across this nation would have, if we did that.
So I think some of it is that we always are, as a culture, saying, let's do local, but there's some problems that are so big that we actually gain a benefit when we do it on a larger scale. It's one thing to say how we're going to control our schools. It's another thing to say that all this infrastructure, we're going to try to leave it to local communities to fix. We've done a good job with the bridge bundling. I'm really proud of the fact that as a county, we are not out there. If you look at the federal legislation, there's hundreds of billions of dollars that's going to go into bridge repair. Now, there are other bridges, and we benefit from them. But it is the situation now, so you guys are doing a good job, and just keep it up.
We will.
Yeah, and I will add this. Our planning department does an incredible amount of work in a variety of issues. And I don't believe anybody understands the monies that are sought after. I mean, we do have Maya, I understand that, but so much work is done with a solid planning commission and board and department that we wouldn't get anything done without them. So
Planners know a little bit about a lot of things.
a lot of things.
And unfortunately, Pennsylvania is just full of regulations.
Yeah.
And so you make sure the regulations are taken care of.
Yeah, when we can figure them out.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason Pennsylvania's full of regulations is because Pennsylvania has so many local governments. Again, it's like a two-edged sword. On the one hand, we have 2,500 municipal governments, and if you talk to the boroughs association or the townships, nobody wants to reduce that number. They all want to maintain their integrity and so forth. But the problem is, with it comes a whole lot of different regulatory hurdles.
Well, you're seeing a number of municipalities throughout the state that are finding a hard time getting borough council members.
Right.
Berks County reduced their numbers by 5. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the flip side, there are good things. Look at South Williamsport and Du Bois Town. They
Yeah.
brought together their police departments.
Yeah.
They're right next to each other. They're working on other projects together. So we can't always look at the glass half full, right?
No, it's not.
Intergovernmental cooperation is the way to go. You
Right.
can
I have that
maximize your
there.
dollar. Yeah, you can maximize your processes and still have your own local control.
Right.
Okay, I have a motion to accept.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried, thank you.
Shannon also has 5.8 for voting on pipeline investment program agreement.
So this is a happy note. We'd applied to the state pipeline investment program for the enabled to extend the UGI gas line over to the Timber Run Industrial Park for the Digger property. The estimated project cost is about $870,000, and of the
that amount, we were able to acquire $287,379 through the pipeline grant program. So we'll be reaching out to UGI. We have to get an agreement with them so that they can start their process, and then we'll also have to have an RFP for the trenching and then covering back up of the pipe.
Great, that's very good news.
Yeah, yeah. So so that'll and we expect that'll all happen before the end of the year, because then they want to be up and running by first quarter next year.
So now so it's 870,000 cost. We got a grant, which is great. Congratulations, that DCD. The 482,621 that remains. Did you say it was 870,000?
870,000.
Right, and we got a grant for 287,379.
Yeah, yeah.
So that leaves 482,621. Right, if you take 287 from 870?
If that's your math. I didn't do
Well,
this.
roughly, I mean, it's, right, we know it's at least.
I don't do mental math.
Right.
500.
It's gotta be at least,
500.
Yeah, that's why, yeah.
Oh, 500, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Okay.
500, that's right, thank you. So how are we paying for that?
That is estimated to be out of the Act 13 funds.
Okay, so the public understands that
Yes.
this is what we need to do to try to bring jobs here. We're doing the infrastructure, but we
We're
got a
also-
good chunk of it paid.
Yeah, we're also working with our consultant Delta currently to look for funds. The cost for the water extension is about $575,000, and then we're looking at for the initial access area, we're looking at roughly $1.5 to $2 million, because we have to put a turning lane in on 15. We have to extend the area on the north side a little bit to allow for traffic to turn in, and also put in the access roads in the driveway. We'll be working with them to look at state funding for some of those projects also.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the chamber and our planning department to always, regardless of the project, okay, always keep our legislators informed. We go to them on a regular basis to, send letters of support and actually get funding, such as Senator Yaw and Representative Whelan and Ham. And at times, they don't even know that there are projects going on. And we must always keep them informed. Or, they may not support it. So keep that in mind in the future.
Yes, we're having a meeting with them this week to go over a bunch of the projects that we're looking at, so.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion to accept.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, so carried.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
5.9 and 5.10 are real estate refunds. Mark Anderson is on the line.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Mark.
Mark Anderson, Tax Claim Director. What we have here are two property owners that had purchased their properties shortly after our one form of notifications were mailed out, and then hence had no idea that their real estate taxes had not been paid because of due of not receiving the bill or our notification stating that they were behind. And with this, we're requesting that they be refunded the penalty and interest and fees for those two properties, one in the amount of $76.69 to Douglas Bardo, and the other in $76.71 to Jonathan and Lanaya Farrell.
Any comments or questions? Have a motion to accept both action items.
I'll move to approve both items.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioner comment?
Last week I attended a business roundtable, which the paper did report. Yesterday, the commissioners contacted Senator Casey's. She's the regional manager here, correct? Liz Kirschbaum from Senator Casey's.
Yep.
And to let them know the severity of the problems that businesses are experiencing, people are not coming out to get employed. And when they do, many times they don't even show up for their first day of work. This is a significant problem in more than just one way, but a supply chain shortage is another issue. And so we asked Liz to bring this to the attention of the senator, and how dire we are, and that this extended unemployment benefit is one of the root causes of it. And I believe that benefit has extended out to September now, and we don't even know if it will be extended beyond then. But I can assure you that businesses are hurting right now for employees. So she did say that the senator was well aware of this, that it is being acted upon in the Washington, D.C. in a nonpartisan way. So our legislators obviously are well aware of the unintended consequences of that extension of unemployment benefits.
Commissioner?
So, a couple things. We have been meeting with the Let's End COVID group. We met with them about a week ago or so, and today we have another meeting scheduled with the Department of Health. Well, actually, it's not. It's the Deputy Director for Intergovernmental Affairs, who at the state level would work with different state agencies to try to bring issues together in different governmental bodies, in this case the county and the state. And I had reached out to Tom Caffrey, who's the governor's rep in our region, about 2 weeks ago to see if he could try to get us more information about the vaccine education program. He connected us up, and they're very interested, and the three of us are going to have a meeting. We had a meeting yesterday with them, and we're going to have another meeting today with Let's End COVID, which are a group of volunteer citizens who've done a tremendous job in trying to put together some education programs about the vaccines, and the deputy director. So we'll see where we go. This is the request for the $50,000 to try to do some sort of education campaign, because the way to get to herd immunity and the way to get our masks off and to get our businesses as open as possible is to try to get people vaccinated. I want to talk for a second about Penn State Extension. Last week we had our quarterly meeting, and first of all, the commissioners, I want to relay to them that Penn State Extension and the board appreciates the support we've given them. I want the public to recognize that the incredible amount of people who are reached by Penn State Extension, and this is quite amazing. In 2020, now granted 2020 was the year of the pandemic, there were 8.6 million unique visitors on the website for Extension. There were 24.5 million pages viewed. And locally, we had about 613, well, not locally, totally 613 registrants for online courses and webinars. I'm sorry, 613,000, right? So we got 8.6 million unique visitors on the website, 24.5 million page views, and 613,000 participants. That is absolutely incredible when you think about it. And of course, it's volunteers like the council members, Matt Henderson, Ben Hepburn, Ray Marshallek, Carl Zerly, Ruth Lundy, and others who were at the meeting and who do the day-to-day and week-to-week work as board members. And of course, the staff at Extension, Mark Madden, Lori Welch, Barb Davenport, Dave Hartman, Lori Nasser, and Sarah W. from our forestry. Her name's always difficult to pronounce. But I just wanted to do a little education there, because at some point we'll be asked again to support Penn State Extension in funding, and the state reps and senators will be asked to support it in the budget. And I think it's really important for the public to understand how deep the touching of lives that does. I just wanted to bring that up to you today, gentlemen. It's quite amazing. State's population is what?
12.8 million.
12.8 million. And there were 8.6 million unique visitors. So.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd just like to make a comment, elaborate a little bit more on Commissioner Mirabito's with the Let's End COVID. As I've spoke to many constituents throughout the county, we have a good amount of people that have been vaccinated, but we still have about 25% that are on a fence. We have probably about 20% that they're not going to get vaccinated no matter what, and that's their choice. That's their prerogative. But the thing is, we have about 20 to 25% that we're talking about in the Let's End COVID group that are on the fence. And one concern I shared with them that I'm hearing is the mixed messages that's being sent by our elected officials. And that's what's very concerning when you tell an individual that you get vaccinated, we can end this. And then once you get vaccinated, they're wearing masks, and they're wearing masks outside. And you can gather to impeach a president side by side and pack the House to do that. But then when the State of the Union address happens and they're all vaccinated, there's only 20% of them in the room. That's sending a mixed message. And when you see the information that the teacher unions are influencing the CDC regulations, that develops mistrust. And when you see individuals that want to listen to the science, but only according to what their agenda is, and if for political reasons, that sends mixed messages. So the people I speak to, they want to possibly get vaccinated, but they want an end. They want an end to this. They want to know when the end's going to happen. We don't know when the end's going to be happening because it's a virus. It's always going to be around. It's always going to be here. But yesterday they said, we may never achieve herd immunity. So there's another mixed message. So they extend the olive branch, they extend the hope, and then they pull it back. And that's why people are frustrated, because of the mixed messages. And how you do that in an education campaign and try to convince people, I'm not sure how you do so. I think the best approach is to have the medical experts, the doctors, do the advertising to encourage the people to get the vaccines, and leave the politics out of it, leave the politicians out of it, leave the celebrities out of it, and let the doctors and the nurses who see this firsthand every day, let them speak and try to convince the people that are on the fence. But right now, from the people I talk to, they're getting a mixed message and they're frustrated. When you start seeing outdoor activities being canceled, the memorial down in Virginia for the veterans being canceled on Memorial Day, and the Mount Rushmore ceremony in July being canceled outdoors, you just wonder what's going on, because these are outdoor activities, and if we're vaccinated and we're outside, when is the end going to be? And that's the question I hear.
And one of the great things about what Let's End COVID's done is they've reached out to local doctors, and we saw some of the PSAs that they had developed with these doctors, speaking in the doctor's own words about why they thought people should get vaccinated. So it's true. We can't, you can't put a gun to someone's head, but I hope we could try to appeal to people's sense of community. There was an editorial in the paper in the Sun Gazette about sort of part of getting a vaccination is trying to pitch in a community, and I can't help but think, and maybe it's just because I'm the child of someone who grew up in the Depression and and served in World War II and so forth, I can't help but think about the struggles that our parents went through to get us where we are today. And my parents are deceased. Of course, they were born in 1913. But I think about the struggles they went through as a generation, and I just hope that we can pick up the mantle and see ourselves through. I heard on the radio today that in parts of Africa, less than 1% of the population is vaccinated. They don't have vaccines. They don't have access to clean water. And sometimes when we're given a gift of good health, even though we may not agree, if someone is totally fearful or political, religious reasons, I understand that. But to just not take notice of it, I think, is not really doing justice to all the people in the world who are dying. Look at the news from India. And, we're being blessed by being given this gift of health, and we should try, I think, to embrace it. Try to find within ourselves a way to embrace it and get the vaccine. Care enough about, all of us to do that.
But you have to, if you're going to follow the regulations, then you have to follow them, not when it's convenient.
Right.
And when the regulations say you can't get this off the surface now, the probability is 0 to very little chance. You have to start to listen to that. And a lot of this is just common sense. I'll give you 2 examples. Wrestling, high school wrestling. You're wrestling an individual, you're touching him. But at the end of the match, you can't shake hands. Where's the common sense? Number 2, yesterday, the D.C. mayor announced there's no dancing at weddings. You're marrying a person. You're marrying them. You just married them. Yet at the ceremony, you can't dance with them. There's no common sense going on.
Okay, so the only thing I would say is this. If we focus on all these idiosyncrasies, right, what we do is we continue for people the belief that they don't need to get a vaccine. And all I'm suggesting is that we can do that and we can point those things out, but when we do it, we're just sort of throwing onto the fires. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't acknowledge that as an issue. Mm-hmm. We should. But I think it's really important, turn on your television set and look at what's happening in India. Over 400,000 cases a day. People they forget about oxygen. There's no facility for them to be in. They're literally dying in the streets.
And Commissioner, who's the only country helping them?
No.
Us.
No, I know. But at the end of the day, it's not whether we're helping them. We don't need to.
This is a global effort.
Right, but what I'm trying to say
other
is
countries to assist us.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to say is that if we have this opportunity, we should recognize that, we have that gift, and not take it for granted. It's like look, we tell our kids don't waste water, or at least I tell my kid don't waste water. My kid informed me the other day, he said, there's a fixed finite amount of water on this planet that it just goes up, comes down, gets recycled and recirculated, and it's fixed in the ecosystem. And I never thought of it that way before, but he's right. And the problem is that the population is expanding and expanding and expanding. And so all of these gifts that we have, whether it's clean water, clean air, a chance for health, a vaccine, let's not take it for granted, especially as we approach Memorial Day, because that's a day of remembrance. Can you imagine the guys who were on Omaha Beach or some of these beaches if they heard us saying what we're saying about vaccines? When they're being shot at continuously, night and day, or even other nations, people in Russia and other parts of the world who sacrificed during World War II, they would look at us and they would say, man, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong.
I think those people are just as upset. People don't stand for the flag either. But
They would. There's no question.
Yep,
They would.
for those ones that fought for us.
Yeah.
Okay, any public comment this time?
No.
Okay.
There's a comment, but I don't believe it's a public comment. So.
Okay. Okay, at this time, the meeting will be adjourned. Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, May 11th. Right here in this meeting, we've completed the agenda, so we will see you next Tuesday. Everyone have a good week. Have a good Mother's Day. And thank you.
No, but I didn't want to make it public.
We might still be on camera, so we can talk to you in the back here. Yeah, unless you have something.
No, it's not a secret. I just
Okay.
but,
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. No, I like to get out of my bubble. I like to go, especially people that are 19.
Yes, yes. This is done as part of the first club.
Yeah.
It's not so much, it has nothing to do with disease as much as choice. They are so sick and tired that they feel like they have to go back into a corner, they still have nothing they do, all of this little thing, I'm just gonna take my stand on that. It really has nothing to do with whether the virus or not the virus. I wanna make a choice, and I don't seem to have anymore, so I don't know how to overcome that, to be honest with you. You can't.
Yeah, it is.
How do you deal
You're right,
with that?
Larry. It's a tough.
And I do try to say yes, but let's find a different hill to stand on. This one isn't the best one,
Yeah.
usually, but it's a hard sell because, hey, I'm tired.